Happy Hanukkah from Titania's realm at Sacred Space. My candles are upside down. I lit the first candle for this evening, but because they're little, they burn down very quickly. And then I got the news of the shooting in Bondi Beach, jihadists attacking people celebrating Hanukkah. So it's completely evil and distressing and disturbing, but this is our world. It's always been a world that hated Jews and for 5,000 years, and it makes no sense to anyone. So I pray for the families of those who lost their lives, peace and justice and resolution. I'm making this video also because I had a very spiritual day today on the eve of Hanukkah, which begins at sunset. Very powerful spiritual day. The time is currently 9:16 p.m. on the 14th of December 2025, by the way. So Jared invited me to go to the book fest, Lifeline book fest with him. This was the very first book I came across when I entered the space. And I had mentioned it, I think, in one of my YouTube channels that I used to read this man's beautiful stories, Gerald Durrell. He writes about all the animals that used to come to him in his garden where he was living in Madagascar, I believe. Anyway, it's wonderful, wonderful writing and story about all the beautiful animals. And my friend Lynn Robertson used to read it to me when I was a child, and you know, I got very nostalgic reading Alice in Wonderland with the drawings she did for me. So anyway, that was the first book I chose. And then I came across this wonderful book about Boadicea, and my handsome and very talented and very nurturing and caring psychiatrist, who was a wonderful human being. We call a man such as him a man of such honour and decency. In the Yiddish language, we call him a mensch, which basically just means human being, but is actually a mark of great honour and respect. And he often teases me that I am the female embodiment or the reincarnation of Boadicea, the ancient Icenian warrior queen who took on the Roman army. Ultimately, she was slaughtered because she got hemmed in by her own people. The carriages crossed the only exit. She couldn't escape, and she was slaughtered. And I certainly hope that won't be my fate, but I've had a long history of being savagely, viciously attacked by people I thought loved me and my own tribe and my own Jewish faith even. A lot of martyrdom, a lot of slandering, a lot of viciousness. And so my psychiatrist some years ago said, "You remind me of Boadicea, how you never quit, you never yield, you never cede, you never give up. You're just a constant warrior goddess queen, fighting with your words and with your energy and with your dance and with your love." He says, "I haven't seen anything like it actually. It's a bit awe-inspiring how you've survived your entire life, Tanya." And this is a measure of the mensch that he is, how much he wanted to ennoble and strengthen and encourage and motivate me that I can get through this life alone if necessary. Of course, that was never part of my dreaming. Always wanted a life partner and someone genuine and caring and joyful and respectful of my body, mind, spirit, and indeed soul. But anyway, when I looked at the cover, I noticed that the full title says, Boadicea, Dreaming the Serpent Spear. And in 2020, when I started the silversmithing, I found myself making jewellery in the form of serpents. Like I made 2 beautiful bracelets with serpents and a pair of earrings with snake heads, and I even gave them little tongues. And I wondered why I was feeling the urge to bring in the serpent energy. And then, as you know, many of you who follow my channel, I even had a carpet python move in with me last year for 12 days from Halloween right up to Remembrance Day, which was very confronting for me and strange, but again, that serpentine energy. And here we have it, dreaming the serpent spear, and here is the serpentine energy connected to, of all women, ancient queens of Boadicea. So I won't know till I read the book how that energy, how that symbology came to be linked with her, but I couldn't resist buying it because it was actually tongue-in-cheek bought with my doctor in mind, how he compares me to her. I also bought the Bhagavad Gita because I'm a student of all religions and mythologies, and I felt drawn to buy a copy of that as well. Then I bought I also bought this, The Human Spirit, and it contains 3 books. Schindler's List by Thomas Keneally, which, if you've seen the movie, is a very powerful, intense movie about Oskar Schindler, who tried to save Jews from Auschwitz. And To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, and The City of Joy by Dominique Lapierre, which I've never read. I have no idea what that's about. I don't think I've actually read To Kill a Mockingbird either. And I certainly haven't read Schindler's List. I've only seen the movie, but that will be intense reading for me. I actually gave back to charity all my Holocaust books because I had a huge collection. It was gifted to me by my friend John Bradley, but it became very depressing and triggering actually, but I couldn't resist buying that because it's a compendium with 3 wonderful books. Then I bought this book on art and spiritual transformation, the 7 stages of death and rebirth, which, as you know, I am a shaman by virtue of the fact that I've had 16 near-death experiences, or came very close to dying events. So I've lived with death longer than most ordinary mortal people. So by virtue of that, although I don't have the lineage of shamanism, I am a descendant of a bona fide witch. However, my biological grandfather on my mother's side, her biological father, very powerful witch he was, very, very, very fucking powerful. In fact, frighteningly so. So I don't have the shamanic lineage that I can go back through the family tree, but I have the right to call myself a shaman by virtue of decades of cumulative trauma and surviving many near deaths. So I thought that would be interesting to keep me grounded in reality and remind me of each death does bring a kind of a rebirthing and a way of recalibrating of body, mind and spirit. And then I saw this book. I've read about her recently. She's an American author and very famous. I don't believe I've read any of her works before. So I thought I would buy the book and try it out. And for $5, it wasn't too expensive. It says here, Alice Munro has a strong claim to being the best fiction writer now working in North America. She is speaking to you and me right here, right now. So I thought there might be some wonderful pearls of wisdom that might, gift me comfort in these strange and dark times. And then I came across this, great love stories from Chekhov to Monroe. So you see she's also included in this tome. And I bought it because I like the quirky title. My Mistress's Sparrow is Dead. And no doubt that's a story contained within these pages, which shall be likely dark and perhaps a bit chilly, but is it even in here? Let's have a look. I'm just skimming through. No, but the Magic Barrel is, which I've read from Bernard Malamud. Is it Bernard Malamud? I think I've read that to you before on my YouTube channel, Bernard Malamud stories. He's a wonderful American Jewish author. Yes, Bernard Malamud. So I was correct all this time, doubting myself. I mustn't doubt myself, people of Earth. I'm a highly intelligent woman, a highly intuitive woman, a highly emotional woman, and a highly gifted woman who is deserving of such wonderful things, and I mustn't let the jihadists, the Nazis, and the moth-eaten, wormwood-eaten Mother Hydra babies, infested types grind me down, because we have one life and one soul in each incarnation we carry from incarnation to incarnation, and we must strive to live our best lives, no matter what, no matter who. Doesn't seem to be a short story of that title, but anyway, I liked the title of the book. It spoke to me. It's a bit kind of gothic, but it spoke to me. Let's just skim through the contents and then we'll find out. No, but that's the title of the book. Edited by Jeffrey Eugenides, Pulitzer Prize winning author of Middlesex. So there you go. Then I bought, because it had a story by Leonard Cohen in it actually, who is wonderful. 4-letter word, New Love Letters. And they're all little short stories of about love. So I thought that'll be soul nourishing and encouraging and motivating and give me something to read on my YouTube channel that's not dark and depressing and almost sending us into suicidal ideation. And here we have another book of great short stories of the world. Edgar Allan Poe, who can be a bit dark. Mark Twain, who can be a bit greyish. Anton Chekhov, ditto. Emile Zola and Charles Dickens, ditto. Oscar Wilde, who's just deliciously whimsical and surrealist at times. Here's a story by Thomas Hardy. So I thought this would be quite wonderful to read, but I'll have to, because I read them usually without previewing them. I can be just as surprised as my audience what I'm reading out. But it's got lots of lovely stories, so that will keep the mum a tea anyway. Very busy for a very long time. And then I came across this book of Rudyard Kipling, The Jungle Book, The Second Jungle Book, and Kim, and I bought it because they were complete and unabridged. So I thought that might be something pleasant, just for something, that reminds us of our childhood. And my very clever friend Jared found me this black and white book, which they're out of print and they're wonderful for erotica, which I collect for my decoupage I used to do. And they have, all sorts of whimsical pictures of men and women. Can't always show you probably on YouTube because they're weird about erotica, but really artistic shots, and I usually cut it up and keep the pictures for decoupage projects, but it's such a wonderful book. I might actually leave it in its pristine state. It's still from September 2000. But we were excited to find that because they're very hard to find now. So that was my beautiful day out at the book fest, and I had a very spiritual, I've dropped a book here. Oh, and Carlos Castaneda, The Art of Dreaming, which, as you all know if you follow my channel, my nickname on Pal Talk was the psychedelic dreamer, and I spent many decades dreaming, which probably kept me alive, quite frankly, why I'm still here when I probably shouldn't be, against all the odds. My ability to enter into trance states and dream into interdimensional realms without drugs and just do this quite naturally, gifted by the gods, has sustained me on many levels. It's cost me true love and safe relationships because people think I'm weird and impoverished and undeserving of real love and real connection and protection and genuine care. But that's on those types of people. That's on those that align with jihadists and Nazis and soulless, empty, flaccid, false, fake fops, as I wrote about this morning, but prescient given tonight's events. Soulless, empty, fucking fake fops running around shooting Jews on the eve of Hanukkah. Shame, Australia. Fucking shameful, disgraceful. But, you know, they're a product of the COVIDian poisoning as well. It's just another symptom. It's also something that's been brewing for, you know, millennia. The Jew hatred, the othering. If it's not the Jews, it's the witches. If it's not the witches, it's, you know, impoverished women living marginalised, struggling alone. There's always someone out there that wants to kill you and hate you for no good reason, but they've got nothing better to do than load a rifle and shoot at people and make themselves feel like even half a man for even a bare moment. But we saw a man take that gun off one of them and bravely protect other people's lives. And you see, the gods might be crazy, but there's always courage under fire, and a real man is a real man, no matter what, no matter who. Put himself in danger to save people's lives. A true hero. And I tell you what, if I go down one day, I will go down the same way, fighting for my own life and the lives of people that I care about. And that is the only way to live in the face of death, to keep your head, stay in your own dignity and nobility, and to fight with everything you have, even if it only ends up being a four-letter word or a love letter to the gods. Blessed be from sacred space at Titania's Realm.